How to solve organic questions. This is the biggest question most of our learners face because organic questions are the questions where learners gets confused. But believe me dear students, these are the easiest question you will be able to solve after watching this video. So keep watching and concentrate to each and every tips I give you in this video. So we will see that how to solve organic questions in paper 2 AS level chemistry. So first we will start with the examples of organic questions and then I will be giving you tips to solve the organic questions which you can remember throughout wherever you solve the organic questions. So here is our first question and I have taken this question from the latest paper, that is Winter 20 paper of paper 2 AS level chemistry. So let's not waste the time and start solving it. Here it says PCl3 is used to convert alcohols to chloroalkanes such as compound T. Now here is the compound T given to us. A possible synthesis of T is shown. So here is our compound T and it is synthesized from the initial compound here given, which is a two-step reaction. Now what are you going to do is first find out the functional group. So here is our first functional group in this compound and here is our second compound. All other are just the hydrocarbon chains. So you can see that there is a difference, there is a change in this functional group which has changed to a chloro-functional group, and again the alcohol group is again changed to a chloro compound, that is you can say an alcohol and carboxylic acid. This is carboxylic acid and this part is alcohol, which is changed to halogenoalkane in compound T. Now you can observe that there is no other change in the remaining part of the compound. So just forget those parts and concentrate only on these two functional groups. Now the sub question 1 says identify a reagent that could be used in reaction 1. Now let's see what has happened in reaction 1. Here we can see that the functional group OH, that is alcohol, remains alcohol as such. The only change is that the carboxylic group has changed to alcohol. Now when the reaction in which the carboxylic group changed to alcohol, that's a reduction reaction. Now I should also add one more thing here, that before you solve the organic questions you should learn all the mind maps of the organic reactions, and if you don't know this, there is a link in the description of this video. You can go through that link and download all the mind maps of the organic questions. Now coming back to the question, we can make out that this is a reduction reaction. So what is a reducing agent that changes carboxylic acid to alcohol? The most common reducing agent is LiAlH4, which is also called as lithium tetrahydroaluminate. The next sub question of the same question says T exhibits optical isomerism and T is given here. Explain what is meant by the term optical isomer and circle any atom or atoms in T that give rise to optical isomerism. Now what are optical isomers? They are the isomers, or you can say they are the compounds. You can write compounds. I'm writing all these spellings in short, but in exam you need to write it in detail. They are the molecules, compounds with non-superimposable mirror image. So they are the molecules which cannot be superimposed on each other, and so they are called optical isomers. And this question also says circle any atom which can exhibit the optical isomer in this molecule. So now what you need to think is that all these plain chains can never have an chiral center which can exhibit optical isomer. So you just need to forget it. So I would just cross these carbons which does not have any chain. Now we have chain at 2 other carbon atoms. Now this carbon atom cannot be a chiral center to exhibit the optical isomer because it has got 2 similar groups on the same chain, that is CH3 groups on the same carbon. So this is the only possible carbon which can exhibit optical isomer and is a chiral center. So here is our circle, and so we have removed all other circles and the crosses. The next sub question says T is the minor product of the reaction of compound S with excess HCl. That shows that the compound S reacts with HCl to form compound T, and I have drawn compound T from our earlier sub question here for our reference, and it says that this is the minor product, and draw the structure of the major product of the reaction of S with excess HCl. So we are supposed to draw the major product when HCl react with compound S. Now we can see that the difference between S and T is that there is only the chloro compounds added here. Chlorine atom is added on the double bond of the compound S. So that shows that the alkene is reacting to form the halogenoalkane. And so we can say that chlorine is added to the double bond, making it single bond. So the major product will be, here I am drawing the structure and I am removing the double bond from the compound S, and I am drawing without the double bond. Why? Because the double bond is broken down when this compound S reacts with the HCl. Now if this is the minor product, that shows that this carbon reacts with the chlorine to form minor product. Now when alkene reacts, we need to understand that any compound, any atom which is added to a double bond can be added to any of the carbon carrying the double bond. So any atom can be added either here or on the other carbon. So if this is the minor product, that shows that chlorine should be added to the other carbon. So that other carbon here, chlorine is added. On this side also chlorine should be added here if chlorine added to the end carbon is minor. So this should be the major product. So what is happening here is that double bond is broken down and chlorine is added to the carbon carrying the double bond. This is an alkene reaction, and if you have a look at the mind map of alkene reaction, this is an addition reaction of HCl to the alkene group. Now here is question 2. Some reactions of compound G are shown here, and we can see that here is a compound G which has undergone reaction 1, reaction 2 and reaction 3. Now what I suggest is that look at the compound G and point out the functional group. So here is one functional group and here is the second functional group. So this functional group is what? An aldehyde, because this is CHO group and this is OH. So the second functional group is alcohol group. So whatever reaction happens are going to happen at these functional groups. Now the first sub question says that state the type of reaction that occurs in reaction 1. Now have a look at reaction 1. What is happening? The carbon chain in between remains as such, that is the 2 carbon in between remains as such, and what we can see is that the other 2 carbon atom which are left has changed. Here is a carbon aldehyde group, it has changed to carboxylic acid, and the alcohol group has also changed to carboxylic acid. And we know, according to the mind maps, it says that the alcohol or aldehyde changing to carboxylic acid is a type of oxidation reaction. So here is our answer for the first sub question. And the second sub question says that suggest the reagents and conditions required for reaction 1. As we know now that it's an oxidation reaction, so what's an oxidizing agent? Best oxidizing agent is potassium dichromate. So we can say that K2Cr2O7, or we can write it in words also, it is potassium dichromate. Now that's the reagent, but what about the conditions? Now conditions is that the potassium dichromates should be acidified. So one of the condition is acidified potassium dichromate, and also heat and reflux, or you can say heat under reflux is the second condition needed. Our next sub question is related to the reaction 2. So let's have a look at the reaction 2, and it says that the compound G undergoes reaction with sodium. Now we need to understand that which part of these two functional groups is going to react with sodium. Now we have aldehyde here. Aldehyde does not react with sodium, so that should remain as such. Now it's the only alcohol which undergoes reaction with sodium, and so let's make a compound where alcohol reacts with sodium to form a product. So as we have already seen, draw the structure of organic compound H from reaction 2. Now as we know that the reaction 2 is a reaction of compound G with sodium. So I'm drawing first just the carbon chain, and now as we know that here was our aldehyde group, so I'm drawing this aldehyde part here which remains as such and does not change. Now here was our alcohol part which reacts with sodium to form ONA. So this is the structure of H. At times you can also write as minus sign on oxygen and positive sign on sodium. Both is acceptable even if you write it or don't. The next sub question says, state what would you observe in reaction 3. Now let's have a look at reaction 3 first. Reaction 3 here is a reaction of compound G with Tollens reagent. Now as we know that only aldehyde part reacts with the Tollens reagent, and it has changed to carboxylic acid again. So the question was related to reaction 3 which was Tollens reagent, and they have asked about the observation of reaction 3. Now with Tollens reagent the aldehyde shows silver mirror, or you can say silver precipitates also. So here we are writing silver mirror as an observation. Now it says give the type of reaction shown by reaction 4. So let's have a look again at reaction 4. Now here is reaction 4, and we can see that a chain compound has changed to a cyclic compound, and the reaction 4 is the reaction of this compound with sulfuric acid heat under reflux, and we can see that Sachin group is formed. Now what is Sachin group? This is COO group surrounded by 2 other carbons. So you can call this as the ester group. This is an ester functional group. This part is an ester functional group. Now how is this ester formed? Ester is generally formed by the reaction of carboxylic acid and an alcohol. Now here we have a carboxylic acid and an alcohol. That shows that these 2 parts of the same compound has reacted together to form an ester in a cyclic form. So let's read the question again. It says give the type of reaction shown by reaction 4. So now as we have concluded, it's an esterification reaction. So type of reaction is esterification. Sub question B of the same question says G and J are the structural isomers of each other. Here is the compound G and J. Name the type of structural isomerism shown by G and J. Now let's have a look at what's the difference here. We can see that there is an aldehyde group has remained as such. The number of carbon atoms, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon has still been 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, but the functional group which was attached to the 4th carbon has changed to the 3rd carbon now, that is the OH functional group has still the same, but the position of the functional group alcohol changed from 4th carbon to the 3rd carbon. So the type of structural isomerism shown by G and J is, you can say, positional isomerism. So positional isomerism is the type of structure. Now next sub question says, suggest one chemical test that can distinguish G and J. Give the results of the test with each compound. For this we need to look at the structure again. Now what's the difference between G and J? We have already seen that the change is the position of OH. Now how can that be tested? Now the thing is that the OH is bonded to a carbon which has a CH3 group besides it. Now this part of the molecule will show a test with alkaline iodine. So the test is aqueous alkaline iodine test. Aqueous alkaline iodine test. Actually we should be writing iodine in the full word, so I'm writing it again. The result of the G is that there will be no change in the G because that does not show any reaction, but result of J is it shows yellow precipitates with alkaline iodine, and this part of the functional group is going to show the reaction with iodine. So this is the difference chemical test to distinguish G and J molecules. The next part says, in the reaction schemes below, G and J are converted into organic compound K. Now for our reference, I have drawn the compound G and J here, and the question says, state the role of NaBH4 in the reactions with G and J. Now NaBH4 is also called sodium tetrahydroborate. Now what's the role of this molecule? This is again a reducing agent as we have seen earlier with LiAlH4. So this is also a reducing agent just like that. The next sub question says, identify the organic product K. Now if you have a look at such a chain, obviously the learners are going to get confused, but believe me, it's very easy. Let's see how is it very easy to find out the answer. What has happened here? Compound G, if you have a look here at the next product, we can see that the aldehyde part has changed to alcohol with the help of reducing agent, and the alcohol part has remained as such. Now same has happened here also in the next J reaction. So both these G and J compounds are changed to alcohol groups. Now both of them are undergoing a reaction with aluminium oxide to form a common product K. Now what you need to think here is that what type of reaction is undergone by alcohol with aluminium oxide. Now if you recall all the reactions of alcohol, you will realize that it's a dehydration reaction where alcohol is removed out and a double bond is added. So you can say that alcohol changes to alkene. So K should be an alkene, and we should make out the product K in such a way that both these compounds forms the double bond, that is alkene, at the same position of compound K. Now with such a structure, obviously you're going to get confused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw G in a very simple way. So here it is says CH2 thrice. So let me draw CH2 3 times. And then again CH2OH. So here is CH2OH and the OH at other part also. So this is the simplest chain, you can say, which undergoes dehydration to form an alkene K. Now what about the compound J, which has undergone reduction? So I'm drawing this part here down to simplify the structure. So I'm drawing CH2 twice. So I'm drawing it CH2 twice. Then we have CHOH. So here is CHOH. And then at the end CH3. So I'm drawing it CH3 here, and this alcohol part is left. So I'm drawing it here. Now we need to dehydrate both these structures in a way that it forms a common alkene. So how are we going to remove out the alcohol? Now if you look at this structure, there is only one possibility, that where can we remove the alcohol? Add a double bond. Add a double bond between these two carbon atoms only. This is the only possibility for this compound. So this can only be the product. Now here you can form a double bond here also and on the next two carbon atom also, but then that does not match our compound with the earlier one. So this is not possible here. So K is what? Add a double bond on these two carbons, that is first two carbons, and the double bond between the third and fourth carbon. So let's draw a simplified structure for K down here. Here it says identify the organic compound K. So let me draw a simplified structure here with first four carbon atoms. I'm drawing the compound K here, and as we had decided, the double bond between the first two carbon atoms. So first two carbon atom and a double bond between third and fourth carbon atom. Now as we have seen that it's a dehydrating reagent, removed OH. So the only things left are carbon and hydrogen only. So here is our remaining structure. So this is compound K. Now we need to name it because it says identify the organic compound K. We can't draw the structure here. So name it. So as we know, it's an alkene with the double bond on the first carbon atom, second, third. So the second double bond is on the third carbon atom. So what we can name this as 1, 3. Then we have 4 carbon atoms. So it's but. And as it has 2 double bonds, so we can write it as butydiene. So the name of the compound is 1,3-butydiene. So what I suggest for such type of compounds is that if you are confused with such a structure, draw a simplified structure which is comfortable with you to understand. Draw such a structure, then find out the product for such a reaction, and then finally find out what could be the product. And if you are told to name it, then first draw the structure of the product and then name it. Such in steps of writing the answers will take little time, but then you will get perfect answer for such questions. The next part says P and Q have the same molecular formula as G. P structure and the structure of Q is shown here. Complete the table with the expected observation for the reactions of P and Q with the named reagents. Now if you have a look at structure P, it has carboxylic acid, and structure Q has one ketone and an alcohol. Now the first reagent is bromine, aqueous bromine. Now aqueous bromine generally reacts with the alkene group, which we don't have it here. So with compound P, no reaction, or you can say no change, and same with the Q also, no reaction with aqueous bromine. Now the next reagent is 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine. In short, we call that as 2,4-DNPH. Now that's the reagent that reacts with the carbonyl group in the sense aldehyde or ketone. Now P doesn't have an aldehyde or a ketone, it is carboxylic acid. So no reaction with P. But in Q we can say that here is an ketone group, so that is going to show the reaction, and it is going to show orange precipitates with Q. The next reagent is aqueous sodium carbonate. Now as we know that carbonate is going to react with the acid part, so P is going to show the effervescence, or you can say bubbles are also seen, but I am writing effervescence here. Effervescence seen with P, but no observation or no reaction with Q, so no change here. So again, what we have done here is first concentrate on the functional group of any given compound and then think whether the given reagents are going to react with that functional group or not. Now the last and the main part of this question, the structure of compound L is shown here and R represents an hydrocarbon chain. So here is an hydrocarbon chain with compound L. A student was asked to deduce the full structure of L. The student analyzed L using infrared spectroscopy. The following spectrum was obtained. Now the question is, identify the bonds responsible for the adsorptions marked X and Z. Now the X is here and the Z adsorption is here. So if we look at the X adsorption, let's see the wave number of the adsorption. It is 1500 here, so it's 1600, 1700, so this should be approximately 1750, and the adsorption of Z is approximately 1000. You can say just above the 1000. So let's have a look at the data booklet page of the infrared spectroscopy and find out about the bonds responsible for the adsorption at 1750 and approximately 1000. So first have a look at 1750 adsorption. So this is the only adsorption showing 1750. Now that's for the ketone part. And what about the adsorption at 1000? So for 1000 we have the only range here is this. So that is for the CO bond. So let's go back to the question. So adsorption X is for the carbonyl group C double bond O, and for Z it is C single bond O. Infrared spectroscopy is going to be really this simple, so we just don't need to worry about it. Now adsorption Y shows that L has a C double bond C bond present in R group. Now student decided to treat L with hot concentrated acidified potassium manganate. The product of the reaction are shown here. We can see that the R part of the L has changed to this part and the remaining part of L has remained as such. And apart from that is additional to this compound M is also formed, which is this part. Now it says name M. Now M, count the number of carbon atom first. Here it's 1 carbon atom, then 4 times CH2 group, so total 5 carbon atom, and here is the 6th carbon atom with the main functional group carboxylic acid. So the simplest name of M is hexanoic acid. Hexanoic acid is the name of M. Now use this information in D to deduce the molecular formula of L. Now the information in D says that the R group has a C double bond C part, which is the simplest hydrocarbon alkene, and the remaining part of L remain as such. Now you need to identify the molecular formula only. Now as we know that C double bond C is broken down with a hot concentrated KMnO4 and changes to carboxylic acid here in both the compounds. So we just need to add on the carbon and make out the molecular formula of the molecular formula of L. Now let's first count the carbon atom of L. Shown here it is 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon atoms in the ring, and for R group count here the carbon atoms. So here we have 1 and 2 here plus the 6 carbon atoms in the M part. So the total number of carbon atoms for the ring are 4 plus 2 in the remaining chain. So 2 here plus 6 from the M. That total gives the L structure. So the total number of carbon atom are C12 in L. Now we also know that R is just an alkene chain. So there are 2 oxygen atoms. So we can write 2 oxygen atom at the end also. Now the remaining are hydrogen. Now from the structure of L we can make out that here are the 2 hydrogen. Here also should be 2 hydrogen, and this carbon will carry 1 hydrogen. Now what about R? Now as we know that R have the remaining 8 carbon atoms as we had deduced here. So as R have 8 carbon atoms, so let me draw the R part here. I'm drawing the R part here. Here is the ring which I'm not drawing with 8 carbon atoms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now as we know that it has a double bond after the 2 carbon atoms which is shown here. So I'm drawing a double bond after the 2 carbon atoms. Now you count the hydrogen atom remaining here. So here are hydrogen 2. Here should be 1 hydrogen because of the double bond. Here also should be 1 hydrogen, H2, H2, H2 here, H2 here and H3 here. Now count the hydrogen atom. So it totals up here. So the hydrogen atom here are total 15 hydrogen atom, and we have already counted here as 5 hydrogen atoms. So total should be 20 hydrogen atoms in compound L. So here to find out answers to such a question, you need to work out the structure. Without working out the structure, you won't be able to find out the answers. So in this whole video, you have seen variety of questions including infrared spectroscopy also. So let's conclude this video with some important tips to solve the organic question. The first one I would suggest is that learn all the mind maps of the organic reactions of AS level of all the chapters, that is alcohols, carbonyl groups, halogenoalkanes and carboxylic, that is carbonyl groups, that's aldehyde and ketones also. And if you don't have, don't worry, just go to the link in the description and you will be able to find it free of, without any charge. The next tip I would say is that look for only the functional group in the given compound and then recall the reactions for that functional group only and then work out the structure. Next, I'd say that always draw the structure of the compound first and then only try for the answers, as we had seen in the last sub question that without working out the structure, we just can't make the answer. So remember these 3 tips before working out the answers for the organic questions. I am 100% sure that you will be able to find the organic questions very easy. But learn the mind maps, look at the functional groups, recall all the reactions for them and draw the structures of it.